Well, good afternoon. If it's Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, it's Mondays with Michael live here on Facebook. Thank you all for listening in. Hope you can join me here in the room. If not, you enjoyed this video post session. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Today's session is a follow-up session, session 3, in our team building session. So as you know, we're going through these 5 steps of a cohesive team, the 5 behaviors of a cohesive team that we teach. The work of Patrick Lencioni's book, The 5 Dysfunctions, is now a training program. And we offer this program to our clients, and many of our clients are using it internally. It's a fairly simple process, but you know, this does take time. So let me kind of recap where we are and what we're going to talk about today. So our first module was all around trust. We talked about vulnerability-based trust and how important the foundation of working on a cohesive team is trust. So we spent some time talking about what the assessment measures. I'll talk a little about DISC and how the trust module is so important to start with. And it's usually one of the harder modules to get through. The second module was all about conflict, having these passionate debates, focusing your debates on issues and not personalities, but putting the issues on the table and having these passionate debates. So now we're taking it to the next step. The next step is commitment. So once we have trust, we can trust each other, and we can get into these healthy debates. Now it's time to commit to decisions. So as always, we're going to go back to the assessment, see what the assessment measures and how this program can help your team. Just as a reminder, on October 18th, we are going to have Wiley come out to Tyson's Corner to do an executive briefing about this program. I will put a link into the comment section here at the end of the session today, and you can sign up. Hopefully you come and join us and learn a little more about how this program is going to help your team. But let's talk about commitment today, because commitment is very important. So once we go through the conflict step, we have to decide. The team needs to decide on a decision. And then you have to get all the team members to commit to that decision. And that's why you have the passionate debate around conflict. So the goal of this module is to come to clarity around decisions and moving forward with complete buy-in for every team member, even those that don't initially agree with the decision. And that's the key part of this program. We'll talk about that on this module. We'll talk about that as we go through the notes here. So like always, the participants take an assessment and they assess how they feel about the team in this area. And these are the things we talk about. Is the team clear about overall direction and priorities? We work with a lot of teams that seem to be going in different directions that don't have a cohesive direction for what its goal is or what its mission is. So we assess that. And then we assess team members and discussions with clear and specific resolutions and call to actions. Again, when we work with teams at team meetings, we find that sometimes it just doesn't happen. Meeting ends and everybody's going off in different directions. Nobody knows what's going on. Team members leave meetings confident that everyone is committed to the decision that were agreed upon. And again, this is a tough one and a tricky one. You have to make sure that everyone around the table is committed to the decision that the team has made. And that can take some time and that can take some practice. And then last, team members support group decisions even if they initially disagree. So how do you get those team members who initially disagree, who had a different idea, to agree to a decision that was from somebody else and that the team has decided to move forward on? And that's a tough one, especially when you leave the team meeting, because you don't want this arguing continuing post-team meeting. So what's important in each of those areas? So as always, we take those areas, we deeper dive them. So team members are clear about overall direction and priorities. If team members are unclear about the direction and priorities, their ability to commit will be vague and incomplete. So you really need to ensure that everybody's committed. And there are several ways to do this within the meeting. I mean, you can go around the table and make sure everyone has a chance to talk about what's going on and their input. But you really want to go back around the table at the end of the meeting to kind of literally almost get a thumbs up, say, okay, we're all agreement here, right? We're going to move forward and make sure that happens. Team members end discussions with clear, specific resolutions and call to actions. At the end of the meeting, cohesive teams take a few minutes to ensure that everyone sitting at the table is walking away with the same understanding. So making sure the team is all in, if you will, on the decisions on the team. The next one is team members leave meetings confident that everyone's committed to the decision that were agreed upon. And this is all about weighing in and buying in. We have this whole discussion, and we do a couple activities around every team member weighing in on the decision. We find that a lot of teams won't make decisions, or decisions are not followed up with outside the team meeting because individuals did not get a chance to weigh in, share their ideas. Now, again, this comes into play here. As you know, D's and I's tend to dominate discussions. dominate team meetings, and S's and C's tend to kind of sit back. So as a team leader, you need to ensure that everybody around the table gets an opportunity. When we facilitate team meetings, we'll hand out 3x5 cards. We'll do other things to help all team members share their ideas. I say this when I teach DISC, is sometimes the shy S is the one that has the best idea. They're shy in the team meeting and don't want to share it. So again, getting everybody comfortable to weighing in. And so if I had an opportunity to weigh in and share my ideas, you may not have taken my idea this time, but I got a chance to share it. I got the chance to make my case. Okay, so my idea didn't win this time, maybe wins next time, but I will buy into the team's decision because I'm a team member. Team members support group decisions even if they initially disagree. And this needs to happen after the team meeting. You don't want to badmouth a team decision, a week, 2 weeks later. We've decided as a group to move down this road. We're going to move down this road. So make sure your team members practice following up and committing to these decisions. So then we get into another discussion, why team members may not commit. And again, the team assesses itself in these questions. Sometimes we don't buy into the team decision, or sometimes I don't buy into the team decision because decisions are counter to my personal goals. We run into this quite a bit. My career path may be different than the direction of the team. We are not clear about the priorities. I just got finished working with a team that was so unclear of priorities, no one knew what side was up. So the leaders and the team members need to make a commitment on what are the priorities, what are the 3 most important things we're going to work on. I don't trust my team members to follow through, and we talk about that. I mean, this is, again, mostly in Module 1, but we talk about it in this module. Do you trust team members to follow up and follow through to the commitments that were made by the group? I don't have all the information. I can't follow through and follow up because in my area, I need more information. So make sure your team members and each team member has all the information. There's not enough time during meetings, and I hear this all the time. We work with team leaders on team meetings. One, to make them more productive, make them more participatory, and have action items after the team meetings. Again, I worked with a team recently that had team meetings every quarter, and team members felt frustrated because they couldn't get things done as a group because they didn't meet enough. So now we've decided with the team to meet more often, and they will meet more often, but to also have small meetings, kind of what they're calling huddles. So if all 12 participants can't be in a meeting, but if this issue affects 3 or 4 of them, have a team huddle with one of the team leaders and make some decisions and move forward. Don't wait another month for another team meeting, or in their case, another quarter for another team meeting. So then we do the action planning process of this module. And as we talked about before, there are 2 parts of action planning in each of these 5 modules. There's action planning for the team. So the group itself comes up with some action items based on what they've learned about themselves, some of the strengths, some of the weaknesses of the team. But then there's an individual action planning process, both at the module level, each 5 modules, and we'll talk about this on the back end. I make a personal plan for me to better myself on the team. So part of the action items we talk about in this module are creating clarity around directions and priorities. It's very, very important the team knows where it's going and how it's supposed to get there. Align the entire team around an objective. Being able to learn from team mistakes and correct those mistakes along the way. Change in direction if need be without hesitation. So it's very important that individuals have an action plan. It's very important that the team has an action plan. And that's where we end this module. From this module, next week, we're going to be talking about accountability. So now we've committed, how do we keep each other accountable? So again, trust, conflict, commitment. We've decided this is the way we're going to go down. I'm going to do this, you're going to do that, Mary's going to do that, and John's going to do that. Now you go off and go back to work. But how do you keep each other accountable? We're talking about peer-to-peer accountability, not boss-employee accountability all the time. For some teams, this is a new concept. We're going to talk about it next Monday here in the room. Mondays with Michael live at 3 o'clock. I see we're starting to run out of time. I do want to remind you that on October 18th, we're going to have our folks in Wiley come out and to do our session on this 5 behaviors program. If you have questions, please chat me up here. Send me a message, and I can answer your questions. I will see you next Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time for Mondays with Michael live here on Facebook. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching if you're watching post-show. Take care.